Good morning. As you can see, I have done one of the pockets here and I've sewn it underneath. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to do the other pocket. But I thought I'd have a look to see if I had any buttons that might match the colour. And I'm not positive I will. So I've got my old slingshot box here full of buttons. And I'll take you down for a closer look at all the buttons. Right, I don't think there'll be anything in here that I will want to use. I think I'm going to have to buy something, but let's just go see what I have got. These are just a packet of randoms. One's all on their own, the same as this one. Very unusual colours in this cardigan. So I do have another box of small buttons, mainly for very young children or babies. But I think I'm going to have to go to the shop. Oh, look at those. Those are bright. No, I don't think so. Lovely and bright though, aren't they? Lots of randoms in this one. Nothing that I can see. You probably can't see. Can it focus? Little purpley ones. I love those little purpley ones. I'm going to use these together. They're purple and blue on something, but they're very small. I don't want small buttons. Nice bright blue. Oh, pink. No, don't think so. Let's get them out. Let's get them out. But I don't think so. Look at these. Focus. Oops. Not going to focus for me. It's got a pattern on it. It's got a bow. Oh, look, one's faded. One's quite faded. No, not really. Not really. Right, which box was I looking in? I don't think there's anything in here. Oh, look at these bright pink ones. They're the same. They've got a little bow on them. I don't think there's anything in here. We'll have to go to the shop. My friend always lets me go through her buttons, but very unusual colours. Nope, nothing in my big button box. Oh well. We're going to have to go shopping. But before I go shopping, I'll be able to show you how I did the pockets. I know some of you have done your pockets already. You've sent me pictures. I've been having a break. I've been giving my hands a break from knitting and crochet for a while, because sometimes we just need to do that. But I thought I need to get on with the tutorial and get the cardigan finished so I can actually wear it. Put these away. So we've had such stormy weather. It's been incredible. And then it was stormy again last night. been hurricane force winds, gale force, absolutely incredible. Lots of damage down the South Island. So yeah, all right, there we go. I will put you up on the desk and I'll show you how I did the ribbing for this part of the cardigan, for this part of the pocket. And I've sewn up underneath most of it. So I'll show you how I do this side. Very easy. So here is a close-up look of the pocket. And I've got the ribbing on here. It was very hard for me to find the yarn to match up with the colours here, but that's okay. I love how the cable just carries its way on through. And so you can see I've picked up my stitches, and you make sure you use the smaller size needle for your ribbing. And I just did, I think, 7 or 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, about 7, 8 rows. And then on the other side, I pinned them down with my stitch markers. And it looks terrible on this side, but I only pick up when I do. Oh, let me get my little needle. Okay, I've just got my favourite little needle here. So when I pick it up this side, I pick up 2 stitches here, but underneath here, I just barely pick up this one little stitch, and it doesn't show on the other side. You can't tell. So, and then I just work my way around there, and I'll put my ends in. So it looks terrible but this side, so no one sees it. So don't worry if you think you're not perfect. It's this side that people won't see any marks at all. So that one down there is just a stitch marker holding it, you see. So there we go. So let's put these stitches onto the needle. So I just pick them up one by one. It's very easy to do. You just reattach your yarn once you've got your stitches back onto the needle, and do as many rows as you like of the ribbing. You can have it really high or you can have it really low. So there you go. So I'm ready to attach my yarn, and I'll just knit backwards and forwards in the ribbing, and I'll match it up to this one. So I'll just attach my yarn and then I'll knit my way up. So someone was saying to me that they're having trouble with the weight of the cardigan being all in one, with their hands hurting. And I put the cardigan up onto a big cushion on my lap, so it's closer up to where my hands want to be naturally knitting, but the cushion takes all the weight. Sometimes I use 2 smaller cushions, and sometimes I just need to use one. So I'm just going to work my way, doing my rib stitch until I've done enough rows that I think it's going to look nice. So you can just do as many rows as you like, and I'll come back when I've finished and ready to cast off. Right, so I've done my 8 rows, So now I'm just going to, oops, cast it off. So if you're a complete beginner, I do have some beginner tutorials for knitting, for the knit stitch and the purl stitch, and even how to cast off. If you have a look in my tutorials. And if you're actually wanting to start your ribbing along for the front, for the buttonholes, I do have a buttonhole tutorial already in my playlist, a different playlist. So if you're faster than me, go and have a look, because I have been a bit slow. I've been catching up on my gardens and my housework and giving my hands a break from knitting. So I'll just finish working across this row, and I was probably out of screen, out of shot. You couldn't see me. Sorry about that. So there you go. There's the top finished. So now all I do is get yourself some of your stitch markers that can really help, and just making sure that when I look at the side here, where it separates here, I just make sure when I sew it up that I match up with the rows here, and putting a stitch marker in can just help you to hold it on both sides. And then I do the same underneath, and now I can undo all this because I'll probably use this for sewing. Got a bit tangled. It was just to keep it out of the way. Got all tangled up while I was knitting. There you go. So there's my pocket on the other side. And so once I've sewn up these, making sure they match up, I just poke the yarn through if I want to use the same yarn, or I do have these other pieces to use, and just keeping it following the little bumps. I use my stitch markers again just to hold it down, and it should meet right down to the top of your ribbing, because then you really don't notice as you're stitching it along. And I try to just pick up probably 2 the stitches on the side here, but when I pick up these, I try just to pick up 1, because I'm only keeping a tissue in it. I'm not putting heavy keys. I'm not putting my whole hand in there and dragging down, so it's not going to rip. I found if I pick up too many, then I start to see it on the other side. So this is just a quiet little activity to sit and do. Not my favourite thing at all, but I get myself in a good mood, put a movie on, and I can sit, and I really have to concentrate and do this. So I don't want to do it on screen because it takes me a little while. So there you go. So the colours don't really match up here to here as it disappears up into the green, but that doesn't matter. That's the fun of using a self-striping yarn. So once I've done that, I'll be able to do my button band, and all that is starting on the button side, deciding where my buttons want to go. I put stitch markers where I want the buttons to go, and then as I'm knitting up, I actually attach it, sew it on, and then I put the buttonhole where the stitch marker is, and I just work up all the way around the cardigan and stop putting buttonholes in when I get to my last, where I want my last button to be. So it's very easy. So I've nearly finished. It's a long project. So I hope you've enjoyed following along. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my Facebook, Trisha's Yarn Adventures, in the message part, the private message, and I will see that eventually. I do have the Instagram, which I don't use very often, so you can ask me a question there if you don't have Facebook, but I just don't use Instagram as much. I just don't really know what I'm doing with it. But anyway, so we've nearly finished. I can't wait. All right, I'll catch up with you later. There you go, all finished, both pockets all done. So the next video, we'll go shopping for some buttons and we'll get the button band made. So thanks for watching. Catch up with you later. Have a good day.